to be honest, predicting a season can be so hard, but as well as exciting. So as much as I feel like what I'm about to say is gonna get me in trouble, I'm just saying what I believe in, and I'm looking at this from a point. I had to take away the love of Liverpool out of this, then just focus on trying to predict the best team of the season. Hello guys, my name is Sam. We're back again with another one. We are gonna be predicting, and here are my predictions of the season. So what we're gonna be covering is this. We're talking about the top 8. We're talking about the teams that are going to be relegated, talking about the manager of the season, talking about the player of the season, also talking about who's going to win the Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, all the things, all the more. So if you want to see if your team is going to feature in some of my predictions, then stay tuned because I believe it's going to be so exciting. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Do you agree with my assessment or even what I'm saying? And I want to see if this is actually going to be the truth. So let the truth be revealed. So we are going to be talking about my predictions of this season, and of course, when we start these things, it's always exciting to start with who is actually going to win the league, because I think that's one of the things that people are expecting. But before we go to the who's going to win the league, I'm going to start with my relegation teams, or the teams that are going to be relegated this season. It's going to be exciting. So as I'm looking at my team that I've set up, the first team that I think is going to be relegated, which will be the below, in fact, there'll be the team that will be below all the teams of the Premier League. My number 20, I believe it's going to be Sheffield United. The reason why I'm saying Sheffield United, I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like as much as they have come, I haven't really heard of some serious business that they're trying to do, or maybe trying to really strengthen. So I just feel like Sheffield United are just going to be relegated. I might be wrong. Wolves also are on my list. Wolves are the second team that comes from this. I feel like with the Wolves, they survived last season. They would have been relegated and they survived. And I do have a feeling that the manager who's there, I think it's beyond them. I think the manager who's at Wolves is a bigger manager than Wolves, and he doesn't look like he's really excited. So don't be surprised that he's going to walk if he feels like this team is not building a team that can actually help him to win something. So if they lose that manager, where else are they going to be facing? Down. That's why I feel like Wolves are going to be relegated. The other team is Everton. Yes, Sean Dyche, whatever you're going to say. You can never survive relegation about 2 or 3 times and not relegated. That's where I see with Sean Dyche's side, and I do feel like as much as they have survived the relegation, relegation is going to find them somewhere as we continue with this league. And I'm telling you, they're gonna be relegated, Everton. So people are gonna be surprised that there's a certain club that everyone is expecting in the relegation zone that I did not include. I'll explain why as we move on. So this is my relegation team. The ones that comes after it, that's other people's things. You just let me know whatever you think. I'll hear from other people as they do their predictions. These are my top 8. So I'm gonna start with the number 8, going to until we go to the last one. So let's see. I'll see how I'll play around with it. So my number 8, I believe Tottenham Hotspurs will be the number 8 team in the Premier League. Because I feel like as much as people are taking them for granted, even though I know that they are not going to be in the certain position that they used to be, they cannot really get there, but I feel like they are going to really show that they have something to prove, and they're going to fight to at least be somewhere. And I feel like they'll be in those European places at number 8. I think it's Conference League, right? I don't know. As a build up for Pastor or Ange. I don't know how you call his name for Ange, because I feel like there's more that Ange is gonna do. So he needs what we call a build up base. So he's gonna start there and then we see him rise. So that's where I'm putting them. My number 7 is Aston Villa. The reason why I decided to choose Aston Villa, I know they're already in Europa, what do you call that? Conference League. So they have European football that's going to keep them busy. Well, the teams won't be really that challenging as the other teams. but I feel like Unai Emery is very good with these things, and I feel like he's building a team that will give them that versatility in terms of the way they're gonna be playing, where he's gonna be able to exchange, putting players as well as playing with different kind of players. Remember, they still have the likes of Coutinho there, so talk about the team having some players that they can just put in and really show pure quality. Even though the likes of Coutinho haven't really shown what pure quality is, but they'll still do something. I'm sure about that. So that's really how much I'm thinking. So you have to really be careful about this. Just keep watching this Aston Villa side. It's gonna surprise you. So that's why I'm putting them at number 7. At number 6, I'm putting Chelsea. The reason why I'm putting Chelsea, people might be surprised, the team that finished in number 12. I just feel like the Mauricio Pochettino factor is gonna play a bigger role. He's gonna build that team to play. He's gonna make them play and really, really strong to surprise so many people. And there's so much that we can look out to this guy, and I know he's capable of creating a good team, especially with the youngsters. He will create a mighty team, and that's one thing that I have. So the reason why I'm putting them at number 6 is because of the Mauricio Pochettino factor. I feel like it's gonna surprise so many people as much as we take them for granted because they finished number 12 last season. So watch that one. The other one that I'm putting at number 5 is Newcastle. People will be surprised they finished number 4 last season, but they have Champions League. This was number 4 without anything, and as much as people are expecting them to drop so much, I don't really feel like they're really gonna drop that much from where they are. I feel like they will be there and there. That's why I'm putting them in number 5, maybe actually going back into the Champions League. Because remember, as much as we say whatever we want to say, this is one of the teams that had the best defense in the Premier League last season, and they haven't lost so many players from that team that was strong. In fact, they've actually added more. Yes, there will be Champions League, maybe there will be some injuries, but they haven't really lost the core and whatever that made them successful. And because of that, I feel like that is going to help them to at least try to challenge and try to remain in the Premier League. They might not really go that far into the Champions League spots, but they will be somewhere there. So watch what Newcastle will do. That's why I'm putting them at number 5. So my number 4 team is going to be Manchester United. So we have seen what Erik ten Hag is doing here, trying to build one of the best teams in Manchester United, working so hard in creating something meaningful. One thing that I have to let the people know is that as much as we say so much about this guy, he's still trying to create a team, right? But I feel like some of the players he's getting is gonna really miss a lot, and some will do. And also, don't forget there's gonna be a Champions League into this process. So it means that there are so many they're gonna be divided in terms of attention of where to focus the most. They might try to focus on the Premier League, but it's not gonna be easy though. That's why I feel like they might go far in the Champions League, but they will not, and I repeat this, they will finish number 4, because I feel like some of the players that so many people are bigging up, they're gonna really disappoint them, and we'll see how that one will play out. So this is why I'm saying this. So we need to keep an eye to that on that. Then my champions team that is winning the Premier League is none other Manchester City. I feel like of all the other teams that are there, I don't feel like anyone is yet at the level of Man City. Yes, I saw Arsenal versus Man City, but I don't feel like yet people can still play to the level of Manchester City. That's why I still feel like they will take again this Premier League title. And who's gonna finish number 2 and who's gonna finish number 3? By now you can guess who's number 2 and number 3 by just looking at the teams that I've already mentioned coming from top 8. Yes, it will be Liverpool and Arsenal that are between number 2 and number 3. And because I'm not really impressed yet with the business of Liverpool, if they are going to find the defensive midfield after losing Fabinho, I feel like they're going to be number 3. Unless maybe they find somebody meaningful who we can say can replace Fabinho and help them block and try to disturb attacks when they come. at the moment, I'm not yet surprised. I was just watching them a few minutes ago. As much as we won, you can still that it's still shaky. I was really impressed by Van Dijk. It's really now starting to make sense. So that's what I'm saying. Arsenal, for me, they're gonna be number 2, because as much as I'm saying that no teams are radiated to Man City's level, when I watched the Arsenal yesterday, I could see that this team is not a pushover. And they are really going to surprise so many people. That's why I feel like these are the 2 teams that people have to try to work so hard to be as perfect as those 2. And if you cannot be at that level, you haven't really yet made it yet. So that's why I feel like number 2 will be Arsenal, number 3 Liverpool, number 4 Man United, number 5 Newcastle, 6 Chelsea, 7 Aston Villa, 8 Tottenham Hotspurs. This is how I see it. I don't know, maybe it might surprise you. Then our champion, of course, like I said, it's gonna be Man City. There could be some things that changes, but at the moment, this is how I see it. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section if you agree with what I'm saying. This is what you have already had my relegation, and you have already had the team that I feel like is actually gonna the team that is gonna win the league. Let's hear your thoughts in the comment section. As we continue, my dark horse. Remember, you have to choose a dark horse. So my dark horse of the team that might make it into the European spaces and actually replace some of the teams that I've talked about in the top 8 is none other, and I'm gonna say them. Burnley, yes, Vincent Kompany. I feel like he is gonna really just surprise us with so many things. So I'm not gonna rule him out. Brighton is one of them. I feel like they are a strong team. They will do something that people will talk about. So Brighton or Burnley are the 2 teams that I feel like might take a spot. I don't know where. It may be in the Champions League places, European places, just anyway in this top 8 of teams that I did show up to you. My biggest surprise. So there is a team that I've decided to make so special, which I've decided to name my biggest surprise. This is why I said this is going to be my biggest surprise. Because so many people are writing this team down. They feel like they're going to be relegated. They don't even see them doing anything. They're just going to come and walk about into the Premier League. I feel like Luton Town is going to surprise so many people come next season. The reason why I feel like that is because people have a tendency of looking at teams from that eye and feel like they've got nothing to prove. Luton Town has something to prove. They are into the Premier League, which they were not expected to be, but they're in there. So the idea of people just writing them out, I feel like they're going to surprise us. Don't be surprised that they might finish number 15, maybe even number 12 into the Premier League, because I feel like they are going to be working so hard to prove so many people wrong. They're going to turn doubters into believers. That's why I feel like Luton Town could surprise so many people. So that's gonna be my biggest surprise of the season. They are not gonna get relegated. That's what I believe. So in this point, before I go anywhere else, I tried to create a compilation of the best keeper. No, not really. I'm just choosing one. The best keeper in the Premier League next season, and I'm gonna give the reasons why I think like that. The best midfielder, the best striker, and also the best midfielders. So it is gonna be exciting. I wanna hear your thoughts in the comment section about it. Let's get into it. So my best, and I'm gonna repeat this. My best keeper come next season is none other than Henderson. The reasons why I'm choosing Ederson over Alisson, Ederson over so many, I'm looking at the defense that Pep Guardiola has set up. Ederson is not really the best goalkeeper when you think about it in the Premier League. He's not, that is the truth. But I feel like he's going to have so many clean sheets because of the effect of the defenders that he has. I think they're going to play a part. Remember now they just choose the best goalkeeper in terms of the clean sheets. But if they're choosing the best keeper, if they're going to vote, not looking at the clean sheets only, I feel like Alisson can get it. But rather than that, it's going to be Ederson. That's what I do believe because of the defense issue. My best defender of this season, the defender that is going to shock so many people. People might be thinking Vladio because he's going to City. I don't think so. I actually think that Timber at Arsenal. Timber at Arsenal is going to be one of the defenders that people are going to be talking about in this season going forward, because I think he's going to surprise so many people with what he's going to be offering. My best midfielder that I have of this season, I feel like, because people might be sleeping on this, I feel like my midfielder was gonna that people should be looking at and is gonna surprise so many people is McAllister. I feel like Alex McAllister is gonna be one of the best in terms of linking up, in terms of recovery, in terms of moving the ball and doing whatever we want him. He's really gonna be that change that Liverpool needed, and he's gonna show so many people why he is one of the best. So I feel like McAllister is one to look out for. My manager of the season. Now this was a little bit tricky because I didn't want to just make it so easy that I'll go to the people's favorite, the one that people are used to, and just go say, this is what I think. I had to really think hard. And I do believe my biggest manager who's gonna be the best manager this season is none other than Unai Emery. The reason why I'm choosing Unai Emery is because of the signing he has done. I believe he's gonna create a thunderbolt out of Aston Villa, and it's gonna do even more than maybe what I've even predicted them to be, which hence might mean that he will be the best manager of the season. I don't know if you agree with me. Let me know in the comment section, but that's what I think. The best signing this season. My best signing of this season, I actually decided to choose two in terms of how much of an impact the players will be for their respective teams. The first one, Onana for Manchester United. Manchester United have always complained about looking for a goalkeeper who can play the ball from the back going forward. That's one of the biggest quality of Onana. Is like a midfielder when you think about him when he's playing. But I feel like he is actually going to be one of the most important players for this team, and it's going to help them to at least try to create something, that is meaningful and maybe something that makes sense. But I feel like Onana is going to be one of the biggest surprise that we're going to have here. My second biggest surprise is none other than Alex McAllister. The reason why I keep bringing this name is because I feel like there's so much that this guy is going to offer that so many people have not really looked at. I was looking at how it's so easy for him to fit into that Liverpool midfield and how he's able to spread the passes and moving the ball. I feel like that's going to be very important, and it's going to leave so many people with so many questions. And it seems like he's going to be shooting from outside, so there's going to be some goals there. So watch him. I really am telling you, keep an eye on this. The biggest flop in terms of transfers of this season is none other than Højlund. Yes, Manchester United fans, you're new and signing Højlund. He scored 9 goals for Atlanta. 9 goals. And so many people are bigging him up to become the next Haaland because maybe the names fit or whatever that they are saying. I feel like you're putting him under pressure, and he might have to struggle. He might struggle, not he might have to. He might struggle. Like, for example, what happened with Anthony building up to a season where you actually settle, or even Darwin Nunes. So you might want to keep an eye on this. Højlund might have a crazy debut, but I know you improve. So I think that's going to be the flop of the season. I don't know if you agree with me on that. Most goals into the Premier League. I feel like most goals are gonna be scored by Haaland. I feel like Haaland is gonna just be outscoring, outsourcing, and doing so much. And look at this. I did not make him the best striker. I just chose him as the best goal scorer. But though I don't think I mentioned my best striker of the season, it could be, there are two names in this. Saka and Salah. Those are, in fact, let me just say, and Rashford as well. I feel like those three are the people to keep an eye on in terms of looking at the best strikers into the Premier League. Marcus Rashford might even outdo what he did last season of 30 goals. Salah might come back to his best, start scoring goals. Saka, as much as you already know, he might be the reason why Arsenal go forward by carrying Arsenal with his own back. That's how I feel. I don't know. We'll see how that one will play out. Then the player with the most assists. I feel like there's gonna be a spread of goals in Arsenal this season, but they will find themselves with the player with the most assists in Martin Odegaard, because I feel like he will create so much from the mid, setting up the strikers, and the strikers will cause havoc. I don't know if you agree with me, but that's what I'm feeling within. Who will win the Champions League? I'm done with the Premier League and all my predictions. Who will win the Champions League? My man is on Real Madrid. I feel like Real Madrid are really strong enough. They've really surprised so many people, and they've really made that team strong enough to come and challenge. So I feel like yes, Real Madrid might win. Who's gonna win the Europa League? My Europa League winners, it's easy. It's easy. Liverpool. I feel like they are the biggest team into this, and they're gonna really be challenged. They need to be ready for this, but I feel like they'll win it. The Europa Conference League is going to be won by Unai Emery. I feel like Unai Emery, wherever he is, which is Aston Villa at the moment, he will definitely make sure that they do get something. So, Europa Conference League, it will be Aston Villa. FA Cup, I think it's going to be won by Arsenal. Yes, I don't believe Man City will have that treble again. Then Carabao Cup, I feel like Liverpool will win it. And those are all my predictions of the season. I feel like some of the things that I've talked about here might be very wrong, and I feel like they might even come back to bite me. But this is the exciting part about predicting. You will say so much craziness, and we'll have to go watch it and watch it again if it actually means something. Let me see as well. Let me hear your own predictions as well into the comment section. Who do you think is gonna be the best player of the season, flop of the season, and who are you expecting to be into this? So click the like button, subscribe to the connect. I hope you enjoyed. We'll be back again with another one. Make sure that you give this video a like. That's the best way you support us on the connect. We are out. Peace.